Hello and welcome to another Nicomedia tutorial. So today we make this baby here. I was a little surprised that so many people asked me to make a tutorial for this Eve here. But why not? Okay. This will be a two-part tutorial, not because this tutorial is so complicated or so long. It's quite easy, but in the first part we model this robot here, and we texture it, we light it and everything. We will make that was a question too, if I can do a small Photoshop tutorial for this face texture here, and of course I will do this too. And in the second part then, some people want that I show how to rig this thing, so you can move everything, the arms and head and everything. And this will be with, I rigged this whole thing with Xpresso, and not everybody is interested in Xpresso, so I will do it in two parts. The first part, as I said, is we make this, so as you see it here, and the second part then is rigging with Xpresso. So let's start. Okay, first we start with a simple cylinder. Good. This cylinder we make a height of 130, and we need 8 rotation segments. That's enough. Okay. And we make this cylinder editable. So I do it with my script. The people who watches my tutorials know this script, and you will find it in the description, the link to the script. Every script or every plugin I use, what you see here is free, so, and you will find the links. You can make it editable with pressing C on your keyboard or this symbol here. And I do it here with my script. Edit Optimize does everything for me. It optimizes. Okay. And now, if we put this in a subdivision surface, with the cylinder selected, Alt key pressed on the keyboard, and click on this subdivision surface, it looks like this. And I agree with you if you say, okay, Nico, that doesn't look much like Eve. Yes. So let's make some cuts. We go here and we need a K for the knife tool. Go in the loop mode and restrict to selections. Nope. Then the first cut we make is here, about here, so that we get a nice edge on the top here, and here we need a loop cut. Okay, then it looks like this. Looks a little more like Eve. Then we need second cut here, this third cut. Let's go in the front view, about here, and another one about here. Yeah, that should be okay. So the next thing, what is, I want to have these polygons here aligned with the Z-axis. Skiing. So I'd have to rotate my cylinder a little bit. So I go to my cylinder, and in the coordinates I go to the H and rotate it to 22.5 degrees. So now I'm aligned with the Z-axis here. That's what I want. But if I go now to my axis, I see the axis is not aligned with the axis here. So I go in my axis mode here, in the axis mode tool, or press L on your keyboard. And then in the axis tool, we have to put here, you see we are on 22.5. And here we go back to 0. And now the axis is aligned with the set here. And disable this mode. Okay. Now we are here. Next thing is we want to shape this body. So let's go in the front view. Take out cylinder and in the edge mode, UL for a loop selection, and let's shape this thing a little bit. So take this edge, T for scale on your keyboard, and scale it a little down. Something like that. Then UL again for your loop selection and take this edge here. T for scale, something like that. And activate our subdivision surface. And it almost looks like we want it. I would say it looks like we want it. Yeah. Okay. So, of course, when I record the tutorial, everything is ringing, the messenger, the telephone, everything. So, sorry, I had to cut this, but now we continue. And here I want to go into point mode. Take this point here and put this whole thing a little down. Okay, let's see. Okay. Then I want to take the points here in we have the x-axis. So I want to take these 3 points, these 3, and on the other side the same here. These 3 and these 3. And just drag them a little down. So go into front mode, front view, and drag it a little down like this. So we have a nice shape now. Yeah, that's a nice shape. Good. Next thing is we want this indentations for the arms here. So we take these polygons. Sorry, and the same polygons here, so opposite polygons or the mirrored polygons. Then make an inner extrusion, so I on your keyboard, and inner extrude, something like that. Okay. Now I don't want this edge so close on the bottom here. I go in now in the edge mode. Then I go in the slide tool. This is not the slide tool, this is it. I don't have it here in my toolbar. No problem. Right click and where we are. So, here is the slide tool, MO on the keyboard. I should have it. Don't know why not. Here it. No, now I have it. It doesn't matter. Slide tool is this edge, and on the other side this edge. You add a selection with the holding Shift key on your keyboard, and so you add selections. And now I can drag this edge just a little up here, something like that. The other side should be the same, yeah. Okay. Next is back to the polygon mode here, and now a D for extrusion. and extrude it like that. Okay. And let's see what we get. Now we have this indentations, I think it's the right word. But these edges are a little too sharp for me. So let's try to soften it a little bit. I do it like this. I go in the transform mode here, the scale mode. And I want to scale these polygons just in the Z and in the Y axis. For this I go to my X axis here, hold the shift key, and now you see the other two axes are activated. And now I just drag it a little like this, and I should have softer edges now. Yeah, that's that I like. That's exactly what I want. Okay. The next thing is, here we have, you see these edges are not really nice, but the reason is this: we are here in the editor view, and in the editor we have just 2 subdivisions, and if it renders, then we have 3. But we can make in the editor the same as the render. So you see it now, and now you see everything is nice and smooth. Okay. So the next thing, we need arms. Okay, let's make some. For the arms, I start with one arm. We could do both, but I needed later one single arm, and so I make just one now, and then we make it with a symmetry object. Okay, I take these polygons, then I press U, Y on the keyboard to grow the selection, U, Y, and you see I have now this selection. And this selection I split. So I go right click here, and here split. Then I get this one, and this will be my arm, right. Okay, let's hide this for a moment. Now we go in the edge mode, and we try to close these polygons here. So you take the bridge tool, B on your keyboard, and just drag this edge over here, this edge over here, this edge over here, and it is closed. So what we get now is, if we put this in a subdivision surface, so activate it, Alt key, and click on the subdivision surface, we get this. It looks okay, and if we see, but we have to refine it a little bit, but now we go here to the 3 as well, so we have the same render thing. And if it's, now you see, if we put this together, it fits perfect in here. But we can do it a little thicker, this arm. So go back here to the arm, polygon mode, and select these polygons here. Yep, these 3. D for extrusion, and just extrude it a little bit. Something like that. That should be enough here. And I have seen here that's too thick, and here on the shoulder it's too thick. I go to my edge mode, take this edge here, and just drag it down a little bit. Same I do with this edge. And again this one, so something like that. That should look better. Yeah, looks much better. Okay, and I want more organic shape, so let's make here a cut. This I want to cut this 1, 2, 3 or 4. What? How many will we take? All 4. Yeah, I take this edge, this, and this, and now I want a cut exact in the middle of the edges here. And the magic shortcut for this is press Alt on the keyboard, Alt X, and you see what we get. Woof, we have a cut here. Next I take this cut and just drag it a little inner here. Something like that. And now we have this nice thing here. It makes it a little more organic. We don't see it really, but it's on the body side, but I know it's there. I like it like this. Okay, so now let's have a look. Yeah, now it looks nice. Everything fits exactly where it should be. Now, the next thing is we need a left arm, I would say. So, first I go to this arm and want to align this axis correctly, so I can use it then for my rigging. So for this, and it's the same, it's good if you align this for the symmetry then again, but it doesn't matter, when we need to align the axis. So go in the front view. Here I have the magic center. You have to go back one. If I press this, it centers the axis exactly for this object. So I go to magic center. Boop. The same you can do with this axis center. You have here this mesh axis center, and if you take this, you can make the same to everything to 0, and outside it, and you have the same. But with the magic center it goes faster, quicker. Okay, so it's okay for me. Then I want to go in the axis mode. I just want to move the axis and not the object, so I have to go in the axis mode and go in the height of shoulder like this. And here I want the axis like here. Yeah, that's later for the rigging, so we have the center point for this. Okay, leave the axis mode. And now we need a symmetry object. Go and just symmetry. Put the symmetry object in the subdivision here. And the right arm we put in the symmetry object. And you see, whoop, we have the left arm. And now it should fit everything. Here it's okay, here it's okay. Everything fits. But I don't want it with the symmetry object. I want it yeah, for the modeling it's okay with the symmetry object, it's no problem. But I want to model it like so we can use it better with the rigging then. So I drag this arm out of the symmetry, delete the symmetry, hide this for a moment, and now I take this arm and I copy this arm. So just hold your control key on your keyboard and drag it out. Then we have here arm left. Then here the arm left is on the x-axis, minus 44 blah 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 blah. And here we just go the same with plus, so just delete this minus and hit enter. Now we rotate this arm, R for rotation and 180 degrees. Hold your shift key so you have increments of 10. And now we have the same with, as with the symmetry object, but I can use every single arm, and not with the symmetry I can use it just together. So we do this, take these arms, put it with Alt G in a null object, name it arms, and now we can put these arms back in the hypernerves. Hypernerves is the subdivision surface, and everything is fine. So the next thing, we need a head. For the head we take, of course, again a cylinder, like we did with the body. A cylinder with a height of 70 and rotation segments again with 8. And here we do the same, we take the cylinder and rotate it with 22.5 degrees. So it's aligned with the body. And make it editable, this cylinder, to take it down and make it editable. So whoop, or press C on your keyboard. But don't forget, if you press the C, I show it, why not? Hide this, I go back, so hide this. Now we have the cylinder. If I make it editable with just pressing C on the keyboard or with this symbol, we get this. We have an editable thing, we have this whole thing. But what we have now is, if we take these polygons here and drag it down, you see they are not together. And we need that everything is together. And if I do it with my script here, if I press this, optimize, edit optimize, yes, do the same here, now you see it's everything together. And this is what we need. So that's the reason I take this script. You can do it, if you do it with C on your keyboard or with this symbol, you have then to go in the point mode, right click and optimize. Then everything is together. Okay, so this is the head. Whoop, whoop. The front mode, to see where I need my head. About here. And we have to cut the head too. And we need to go into edge mode. K for the knife tool, loop is okay. And we need to cut about here. Cut about here. I don't know, it needs 3 or 2 cuts. It says something like that. So now UL for loop selection and go. We need this edge here. T for scale and scale it down like this. Then UL for this one, T for scale, something like that. UL for this one, no, let's take this one, T for scale, something like that. UL for this here and something like that. Let's see what we get. If it looks like it should, take it in a hyperlapse, so Alt key and hyperlapse. It's almost what I want, but not completely. Now I go to my cylinder, and I want the axis here on the bottom of the head. So I can, if I scale from the head, from the bottom here, and that's what I want. So I go to my axis center tool here, what you find under mesh, axis center here, and just drag the y-axis down, auto update. Yes, and now I have it down here. That's what I want. Because if I now scale, you see the bottom is the same, and I scale just from the bottom, from here. Okay, something like that. Does it look like that? Yeah. Not exactly, I think. But you later can refine it like you want. So with E on the keyboard, a little higher here. I think something like that. And of course, what I want is this point down here. Oops. And drag this point down, so we have something like this surrounding here. Okay. Yeah, something like this. I think it's okay. Maybe the whole head a little down. Yeah, why not? The head maybe a little bigger. The whole head. T for scale. Just scale it up a little bit. Yeah, that's better, I think. Maybe it'll do. But that you can make how you want then. Sorry. Okay, that's more or less the modeling. It's nothing more. And for now we take the arms. What we can do, so we don't need 3 subdivision surfaces here. Drag everything out of the subdivisions. Delete these subdivisions, these 3, we don't need it for the moment. So this is the head, this is the body, the arms. Okay, now we put these 3 things with every Alt-G in a null object, so we group it. This is our Eve. Then we take this Eve and put it in a subdivision surface. So hold Alt on the keyboard, subdivision surface. See, now we have just one subdivision surface and everything is in it. And if I go here to 3, then everything changes at once. So don't have to make 3 times the same. Okay, call it Eve. So now we save it. I have already the Eve tutorial C4D here, just save it. And let's make some materials. Now first we can take the arms, right arms, E for the move tool. Put it out 10 centimeter, I would say, so hold your shift key and take 10 here. And on the other side 10. So it looks better if we render then. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So the next thing we need a material. So just go here, create new material, or just double click here in the material browser. Double click on the material, and here we need no color. We need just the luminance from about, let's say, 80, and the reflectance. The reflectance, I don't need specular. I need my GGX. Then with the Fresnel, I go to dielectric and pet. Nope, nope. And here, let's say about 40 and about 15. We'll see it later if it's okay or not. Good. This we can drag on our if null object here. So, if we render it now, it looks a little boring, of course. Next thing we need is we need a scene, so or something what can reflect in our robot here. So I have in the content browser, I have my Scene Rig, and of course I use it. Here's the Scene Rig Pro and the Scene Rig Lite. You can download. This is a free version, and this Pro version costs €10, but I think it's worth it. Has many more options, but you can everything do with the normal free rig too. So I go in my Scene Rig and just drag this Scene Rig onto my object browser and drag it here in the scene. Okay, now I see the Scene Rig is a little too high. Just go on it and drag it down, something like this. And now immediately, so I did nothing but dragging the Scene Rig in, and now I render. We get this, you see we have reflections. The reflections a little too few maybe, so let's like this. Okay, but now with the Scene Rig we can play. We go to our Scene Rig, we have here the HDRI settings. And if I go to my reflection brightness and drag this up, you will see now we get much more reflections, and now it looks nice. And if you want to see where are the reflections, you can turn the preview on. The preview you have just in the Pro version. It's not in the Lite version. Go to the preview. Here you see this sphere, and you can rotate it horizontal. And now I want to say I want these stripes like this, and press enter again, and now I have these reflections. What I prefer. And the nice thing is, if you go to the to the interactive render region, take this. You see I have immediately, and if you drag it now, you see it. Drag it, and okay, I like this or I like this. And you can play this hue and saturation you don't have in the Lite version 2. This is for colors. So if I go to the saturation and say go up, let's see, maybe I wanted red or a little blue, so light blue, so as the eyes will be later, something like that. And get very nice thing. So, of course, this is a very low render setting, so the finish render will be much better. So. Next thing is, we need this face texture here. This texture will be, if you don't have Photoshop or you don't want to work with Photoshop, it's no problem. I give the texture with the project file, of course. Yes, if you are not interested in the Photoshop part now, just scroll forward and that's it. But we make now the face texture. So let's go to Photoshop. Whoops. Hello Photoshop. Make a new 1500 is okay. Okay. So I'm not the Photoshop master, but we will see what we can do. At first I need a rectangle. This rectangle I want a shape or a path. A path. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Rectangle, path. Right click. Something like that. Okay. But I have a document with 1500, so go 1500. And let's say here 2000. Then in the x-axis null, and here should be, if it 1000 is a rough, I want 250. Okay. Now I want the rounding here. That should go to 750, of course. The same here. Okay. Then this roundings should be then 250 normal. 250. Yeah. And 250. Okay. Then I need 1 point more. Where do I find you? Here at anchor point. Here in the middle, somewhere. Okay. Now I direct select okay, and move this down. Something like here. Okay. Next is I need to convert point tool. Click on this one and click on this one. Now we have this face shape. Okay, next is we press Ctrl and Enter and make a selection out of this path. So Ctrl Enter and we have a selection. Good, that's what we need. Go to here on our layer, press Ctrl J and we have this selected thing on our own layer. Now we can delete this background layer, we don't need it anymore. Then we can make this one, we can trim it, transparent pixels, yes, okay. Now we have this what I want. Now I want to fill this thing with this shape with my foreground color. So first I press Control on my keyboard and click on this icon here, so on this symbol. So I get this selection. Then for the foreground filling I press Alt and Delete and have filled it with the foreground. So then Alt D to delete the selection. Good so far. Photoshop is next. What we need is the eyes. So for the eyes I take the ellipse tool, of course. Now we need a shape, I would say, or a path, or pixels. Let's take the shape first. Fill color from like blue. Here I don't need nothing. And let's make an eye. Something like that. Okay, why not? So then Control T here for the free transform tool. Rotate it a little bit, something like that. No, that's too much. Something like that. Okay. Oh, that's our first eye. Enter. Whoop. Oh, okay. But now I want to fill this thing with a gradient fill. But I think then yeah, that is what I need. Here lighter blue than here. And with an radial thing. Yes, but now I can't do this on this, so I have to rasterize this layer. So could have done it with the pixels too, not with shape. Okay. Then I click with the command control key. I click on my layer here and the symbol, so I get the selection. And now here with the gradient tool, let's make a gradient. You see we have light, inner light and out a little darker. Okay, that's what I want. So Control D to deselect. So the next thing is we need a second eye, I would say. So press go to the layer here, press Control G and J, and we have a second eye. Now I want to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Okay, and this I want to move. Go here and just move it with the keyboard arrows, something like that. Okay. So now I merge these two layers, merge layers. Then I press Control A to select everything, and now I can go here with this layer selected and center the eyes so that we are in the middle here. Okay. Then maybe a little up here, something like that. What we need now is this white or brighter stripes in the eyes. Yeah, let's do it. I make a new layer, and I make this layer black. So to fill it with the foreground, I press Alt Delete. Okay, now I take the line tool, and I want it white. Okay. That should be okay. And now I just make a line here. Hold your Shift key so you get a straight line. And here I want, let's say 5 pixel. Yeah, 5 pixels should be okay. Yeah, let's maybe a little more 7. Yeah, 7, okay. The next thing is, now it's funny. With Control J, I duplicate this layer here. Control J. And now I go Control T for transform, for free transform. And just move this one a little down here. So like this. Yes, like this. Press Enter. And now Photoshop should remember this moving here. So with Control, Alt, Shift and T, it should, yeah. Just click everything the same. Here I did something wrong, but that doesn't matter. Okay. I think that's enough. Let's make some more. Okay. Now we just merge all these shapes. This is the first one I don't need. I merge now all these shapes. Whoops, merge it. Merge shapes. Don't need this layer anymore. This layer, this black layer, I did just to see my white stripes here. Just delete it, I don't need it anymore. Now, I want these white stripes over my eyes. So just move it here over my eyes. Something like that. Okay, and now we make a clipping mask, so that means you can right click here and create clipping mask, and you will see it's just on the eyes. You can make a clipping mask if you hold your Alt key and press between these two layers, so you see you can do the same. But here I want another blend mode. We go to soft light, and we have this. And that's our face. Okay. I don't need to, why not? I save it. Eve tutorial, texture, and I save it as PNG file. You see I have it here. I have the one I did before to test it. And yeah, I could say if I2, I don't want to overwrite it now. Okay, that's everything okay. So back to Photoshop. Photoshop Cinema. Here now we need first a selection on our head for our face texture. So I go in the front. Here's the front and select these ones. Now we want to save this selection, so set selection. Whoops, now here we have the selection tag. You can make this, if you don't have it in your toolbar here, you can go to selection and here set selection. It's the same. Okay, now we need a new material. Just double click in here, call this face. We don't need a color channel, we need an luminance channel. And in this luminance channel we put our new material. You see, 1, 2. Yeah, here I take what I did before. It has not so bright eyes. Okay, and the same material, this eyes PNG, I need in the alpha channel too. So activate the alpha channel. Go to texture. In the bitmaps there should be your PNG. Okay. And in the reflectance, I don't want specular, I never want specular. Go to GGX, and now I want like glass, so dielectric glass. Here I want about 15 and 10. And now I put this face texture here, I take it and move it to the head. And this texture here has a selection, and here we put the selection tag in. Of course we don't need tiling, and we want a flat mapping. So now we can click here, right click on the selection here, on the material tag, fit the object. Here we need this material we need on the head too, so put one on the head, but here in the front. So far so good. Let's go in the front mode, front view, display grow shading. Yeah, there is something wrong, and I know what is wrong. If we go in our texture mode, here we go texture, we see that our texture here is not aligned with the axis. So what we need to rotate this texture. So go to the axis mode here. So far so good. Now I'm out here. Then R and rotate this. Here you see it, that the rotation just put in minus 22.5. Or not. Oh yes, it's okay. Yes. Now with the axis tool selected, go in the scale tool and now we scale this material. So just scale it down, something like that. Something wrong here. Nothing is wrong. It's just because we don't have the hypernerves on, but the subdivision surface. E, a little up here. Okay, and now let's render this and let's see what we get. Now look how nice it looks. Perfect. Perfect, I would say. Maybe a little smaller. Yeah. That's nice. I'm happy with that. Yeah, and that's it for this tutorial. And it's again nearly an hour, but what else? Yeah, so the next part we will rig this guy with Xpresso. If you're interested in this, so I think I do it in the next few days. I don't know, why not 2-3 days, or maybe if I'm bored and do it earlier. We will see. So I'll make now a quick render with better render settings. Let's see. Go to our render settings, make make a child of this setting here, new child, and we need just in the physical render, go to adaptive and to automatic with 10%, should give us a nice render, and render it here, R, oops. Yes, you see here it's grainy, but of course if you go down this is if you go not automatic or the medium, and in the options, the reflection depth we need just 2. Yeah, 2 should be enough. Render again. Yeah, it's getting better and better and better. Yeah, nice one, I think. For the physical render, if you don't want these grainy things, if it's too grainy, you can here in the ambient occlusion subdivisions, you can go here to 3 and into 3 fines. It's the same with blurry reflection. If you see your blurry reflections, grainy, so just go here and go to 2.5. You can go and see very small steps. But here it slows down the render, so here you have to be a little careful. But of course, you see that the rendered it will be much better, the result. Okay. So I hope it was okay for you, the tutorial, you liked it. And as I said, next part will be the rigging. And until there, I wish you everything positive. So, bye bye and have a nice day. Bye.